Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raha, Hudash. Honors be to the elect elders of the nation of Israel that do labor and teach the truth and sincerity. Shalom to all you Akim, you hopeful elect on the highway and hedges, making your body a living sacrifice, according to Romans 12 and verse 1. Shalom to sincere believers as well, which consist of men and women. Shalom, Brakatham, and as always, Abad Babal. This is your brother Zakar and Bon coming back with another video. We're going into the lofty looks will be brought down. So I'll start off with Proverbs 30 and verse 11. Just grab a few, and that'll be pretty much it. It says, "There is a generation that curseth their father, and doth not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness." Pure in their own eyes, right? They are wise in their own counsel, and they're wise in their own understanding, right? They're leaning upon their own understanding. Okay. And let's go here, because it says that had not been washed from their filthiness. Ultimately meaning what? That the word, is a true washing, is a true baptism. The word, Ephesians 5:26, John 15 verse 3. I'm just quoting. The word which is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is not allowing them to be cleansed. All right, meaning what? Have a renewed mind. He's not going to sup with you. Okay, he's going to leave you in that detestable state, as we're going to read right here in verse 11. Revelation 22 and verse 10, it says right here, the final message. "And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand," meaning what? The kingdom. "And he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still." Like I was saying, you going to continually be in that filth state with a bugged out mindset, right? Something that is all the way gone, all the way left field. You're going to be just out there. "And he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still." Okay? And we understand, about reincarnation, that you keep coming back doing the same thing. So if you was a prophet, right, a man of the Lord, you're going to continually, be in that same position, that same lot. Now, on the contrary to that, if you are, deemed to be wicked, a two-third, whatever, you're going to forever be like that, man, until further notice, right? Because that's how the Most High got this thing, right? On everything on what you call autopilot, right? So let's go back to the book of Proverbs, chapter 30. It says right here, it says, "And yet is not washed from their filthiness." Okay, the Most High got a certain people that he's going to leave in that detestable state, speaking about the nation of Israel. And it says, "There is a generation, oh how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up." And we go to this word lofty, it goes into what?
Strong's H7311. Room.
It says to rise up, be high, be lofty. Okay, be uplifted, rise, lift, erect, exalt, set on high. And these nations are what? Set on high. This is their kingdom, right? They are at their apex. Okay, as they say in the world, they would say this is the white man's heaven, but the black man's hell. All right, because they are, they're all the way in their heaven. They the top. They the ones that are getting all the praise. Okay, which is all good, because this is prophecy that's being fulfilled, right? So it said lofty, going to what? Exalt, high, which goes into what? The ego as well. Okay, Obadiah 1 and verse 4, right? Matter of fact, let's go ahead and grab it. But it's all symbolic of the ego. That's why the Most High got it in the scriptures. And it's not by it is not by coincidence that the eagle is the national symbol for USA. It's not by accident at all. Everything is done for a reason. So let's go to the point. Obadiah is only 1 chapter verse 4. "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars being the Israelites, thence will I bring thee down, said the Yahweh." All right, this is speaking to Edom. Right? Just read verse 1. It said, Edom will be humbled. Okay? And as I was saying, going to what the lofty looks. So it said what? Edom will be humbled. Verse 1. It says that the vision of Obadiah, concerning what? Edom. But the point here I just want to make is that though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and we go to the characteristics of the eagle is what is proud, it's prideful. Okay, it flies what? Very high, it's very exalted. Okay, it's like I was saying, it's not by coincidence, it's not by, a mistake. No, it's, this is how the Most High got it. Okay, liken this man unto an eagle. So let's grab this, and that'll be pretty much it. Like I said, it's only a few quick points. That'd be pretty much it. Let's start with Isaiah 26. Let's start with verse 1. It says protection. Right? Song of trust in the Most High's protection. It said, in that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. Salvation will Most High appoint for walls and bulwarks. All right? And ultimately it's going back to what? The land, Israel, headquarters being Jerusalem. It's going back to, eventually to the kingdom. Open you the gates that the righteous nation which keepeth it the truth may enter in. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted it in thee. All right. And we got to keep in mind real quick, make this quick point as well, is that, Jerusalem is a people before it is a place. We'll make that quick point. Right. It says, thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. That's only the believers. Right. On the, the body of believers. Those that was already, chose from the foundation. Those that was righteous then and righteous now, as we read in Revelation 22 and verse 11. Thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. Trust you in the Yahweh forever, for the Yahweh, Mosiah, is everlasting strength. All right, whose mind is stayed on. So let's continue on. Verse 5, here's a point. For he bringeth them down that dwell on high. As we just grabbed in the book of Obadiah 1 and verse 4, them that are dwelling on high, once again, is, Esau, Edom. This is his kingdom. Although you got other nations that's, climbing up that so-called, ladder, right? Meaning, they rising up to a little bit of power, ultimately not to the same extent as Esau, Edom. All right, because this is really his kingdom. The two main characters in the Bible is Esau and Jacob. 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 9. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning. Right? There's no other way around that. Yes, you got Elam and, Elam that's climbing up. You got Moab and, Ishmael, all these other nations. But ultimately, the two main characters is Jacob and Esau. For he bringeth them down that dwell on high. The lofty city, he laid it low. He laid it low even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust. Right? Them being what? Abased. Once again. He humbles the proud and brings down the arrogant city. He brings it down to the dust. All right, the arrogant city will be what? Beaten down. Meaning Esau, Edom. America, because this is his headquarters now. Right? Make no mistake about it. America is, the Edomites' headquarters. The Ish peoples. First and foremost, because they're the top, Edomites. Okay? But the lofty, as it says, will be what? Humble. So let's grab one more. Give me 1 second as I grab this. Okay, only a few more. Then I'm gonna close it out. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 2 and verse 11. Want to touch a little bit more off that slide here. Isaiah 2 and verse 11. Oh man, it's all good. Let's start up just a tad bit. Let's start at verse 8. It says, their land also is full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. And the mean man boweth down, and the great man humbleth himself. Therefore forgive them not. Enter into the rock and hide thee in the dust, for fear of the Yahweh, and for the glory of his majesty. All right, it's going to what? This head to what? The destruction. It says the lofty looks of man shall be humble. And this has not happened yet, but this is a prophecy that this, they're going to be what? Tore down, beat down to powder. Okay? You're going to have Jacob trouble, race riots. You're going to have the missiles. You're going to have a whole lot going on. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down. Right? We headed to the greatest destruction the people had ever seen. The hardness of men shall be bowed down, and the Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. Right? Rightfully so. Yahweh Shai will get all the credit for it. Okay? Yahweh Shai, who's the right hand of the Heavenly Father, is coming to do the bidding of it, coming to do the bidding of his Father. Right? He's coming to do what? Tear down this wicked empire. Not coming to meet these people as a man. Right? He's not coming back in that same position that Lot that he once had as being like unto what a lamb. All right, because that position is already fulfilled. Now he's coming back to do what? To conquer. The lofty looks of men shall be humble, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. All right, in that day. That's a day of great judgment, and the day of a great deliverance. All right, so I'm gonna stop there. That's pretty much it. Just gonna make a few points of going to lofty. So I'm gonna give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raha, Hudash, Shalom, Brakatham, and as always, Shalom.